Okay. As you can perhaps tell from Simon's strange manoeuvres here, there is a downside to walking this stretch in that there are quite a few midges. I suppose that's what you get from walking near a sedate river at this time of year. But yeah, so might want to think, if you are thinking of following on our footsteps, bring along some insect repellent. But other than that, it's a lovely stretch this, with nice verdant trees. Now, as I said, I'm not sure how well the park infrastructure is being maintained. As you can see, this bench has seen better days, but this is certainly a lovely stretch of riverside path we're about to embark on, with the river starting to flow again now. It's got a nice steady pace, because there's a bit of a lip there. I don't know if that's an old weir that's been demolished or it's a natural shelf, but the river certainly does pick up pace a bit at this point. A bit further along you'll come to this fine footbridge which links Drinkwater Park on this side with Forest Bank Park over on that side. And the main feature about Forest Bank Park is it does back on to a prison. So if you see any suspicious looking characters running over this bridge, you'll sort of have an idea of where they might have come from.
I escaped through this bridge.
Well, yes, I was going to make a remark about Simon there, but yeah, he illustrated the point well for me. But we'll continue back down towards Frederick Road.
Here he comes.
And there in the distance we have our first sighting of the elegant bridge that takes Frederick Road over the Irwell. And I think by that point, on this side of the river, we'll be in Manchester rather than Bury. I think the border is around about here. Over there, Salford. Here, we're sort of near the border. Okay, well, here we are at the entrance to Drinkwater Park at the far end. And as you can see, we've got a busy roundabout, which comes as a bit of a jolt after a peaceable tree-lined stroll. And here really is where you can say the rural stretch of the Irwell really finishes, and beyond this point you're in what's really an urban environment.
Bye bye Mother Nature. Hello boring paved streets.
And here's another view of the bridge. You can see some of the elaborate ironwork that's gone into making it, and you can also see that at the other side of it you're into Salford. Hello, I need to correct what I was saying just the other side of the bridge. That is not Frederick Road, that is Agecroft Road. And we're nowhere near the Manchester boundary here. I was right about Salford, but this for a short while is still Bury. We don't get to the Manchester boundary for quite a while yet. And on our right here, for quite a time now, is Agecroft Cemetery. There is a famous rowing club that was based here, Agecroft Rowing Club. Eventually they decided to leave this part of the river to wildlife and move to a new headquarters at Salford Quays, but they still have kept the old name. Hello. Well, we've still got the cemetery behind us. Looking across the river here, we see a feeder brook called Singleton Brook. Now, it's not very significant in itself, but it does mark the point where the Salford boundary leaves the river and shoots off up that way, and so all this area, Kersal, and then leading on to Broughton, is in Salford. So for the rest of the river walk, right until the centre of Manchester, the river is wholly in Salford. Hello, and this is the first time that we've seen an automobile in the river. Yeah, don't think it's worth anybody fishing it out now, but just emphasises that we're in an urban stretch now, and you can, through the gap between the trees there, you can start to see one or two Manchester landmarks. And here we're sort of seeing the first of a number of graceful curves in the Irwell over the next few miles. That's particularly the case the nearer we get to the city centre, although one of them was smoothed out, and we'll get to that in due course. But even saying that this is urban territory, it's still pretty nice. Right, with new houses going up on your right, you come to this footbridge with the Manchester skyline, or at least part of it, ahead of you. Just spotted Strangeways Tower there in the mist, and you've got this footbridge, or is it just a pipe bridge? I don't know. Can you get over it, I wonder? But it links Kersal on one side, and I think this area on the right is called Charlesworth. No, it's just a pipe bridge. I don't think you can use it as a footbridge.
Still fun.
And no, I was right the first time, it is a footbridge. Okay. Now as you approach Kersal Bridge, you can see there is quite an island forming now from the gravel of the riverbed, and few bushes now. I think that's probably quite a haven for bird life. Okay.
Hello, here we are at the gate to Kersal Wetlands, which follows a big sort of lollipop shape. It's a very big curve around with the River Irwell, which goes around the aforementioned Kersal Wetlands.
Now, I think this mural here commemorates a sort of manor house that once stood here, which I think was called Castle Irwell. I'm not sure there's any genuine, there was ever a genuine castle here, but so there could have been, given the nature of the site. And this track that runs round the promontory is actually called Derricantribus Way, and Derricantribus, at the time of us making this film, is still a sitting councillor in Salford. He's been there for about 40 years, but still you might think that naming a track after a living councillor is a bit egotistical, shall we say. You know, you'd think perhaps they might have wanted to wait until he'd actually passed on, but never mind, it is what it is. And it is a nice spot actually. So here we do have the wetlands. Look like they've been drained quite extensively now.
Oh, actually, there's a bit of water down there.
Oh, yeah. Sam spotted a puddle. Yeah.
There you go, that's your wetlands for you.
Okay, great. And we'll just have a little wander out to that signboard, see what it tells us. Okay, so we have a board here, and fortunately it's telling me that I've mostly got it right. The house was called Kersal Irwell, and this is the wetlands, and there was once a race course here. You know, there's a photograph here showing some action. So, well, it's now a very peaceful spot. This would have been quite busy at certain points in the past. So, yeah, always an interesting river, the Irwell.